Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be adding the market stalls and the community garden to the farm. So let's get started. Okay, so behind the museum here and in this front corner of the farm, my goal has been for a while now to have a couple of market stalls over here, and I also got a comment on a video kind of a while ago at this point, suggesting that I put community gardens in there because that would be a pretty cool idea. And I do definitely agree. And so this was the mock-up that I created. And I ordered pieces to create both of those designs. And that bricks and pieces order recently came in. And so now I can finally get to work on these. And so that's my main goal for today. And then if I also have time, I would like to continue that dark tan wall. I think that would be pretty cool. And so let me bring these to the front of the table actually so I can sit down and I'll show you guys my thought process. Okay, so I'm going to start with the community garden first and then we can work on the market stalls in a minute. But this was the design that I came up with. So it is just 4 studs by 8 studs on the top, and then underneath is these 2x2 snot pieces here. And then on the corners, I use a mixture of these sand green 1x1 snot bricks and then these medium blue snot bricks that have studs on 2 sides. And then pretty much everywhere you just put a 1x3 tile standing up all the way around. And then eventually it should look like it's made out of wood, and then there's dirt in the middle. I had to order all of the tan tiles because I just didn't have any 1x3s in tan. And so hopefully I should have all of the pieces now to create this. The only thing is that I don't know if I have any brown plates on hand, but I'm sure I can find some, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so this is what the finished community garden looks like, and I think this looks really good. This looked exactly like I thought it would in my head, and I'm really happy with this actually. I think it looks great. If you just kind of place this down and you just pick a random figure from over here, you can see that the height is actually pretty good. It is a little bit tall, but I do think that it is actually kind of a decent height because there will be some plates surrounding it. So these minifigures will actually be a plate or two taller than the actual garden itself. And I know that a lot of the colors in here don't look like they're supposed to belong in something like this, like the blues and the greens and stuff like that. But once you put it down, you can't see that there's any blues or greens in there. And so I think that's fine. And so before I build the other two, I want to actually give you guys a rundown of how many pieces it takes to create this. So if you guys want, you can create one on your own as well. And so basically you need 4 of these snot bricks with studs on 2 sides. You need 4 of those. All these pieces that I'm mentioning now are to create one of these planters here, and I'm making 3 of them today. So you need 4 of these snot bricks with studs on 2 sides. You need 4 of these snot bricks with 1 stud on the side. You need 8 1x2 plates, and the 3 of these, the color does not matter. And then you need 6 of these 2x2 snot pieces as well. Again, the color does not matter. You need 1 2x6 plate, and then you need any combination of reddish brown plates that add up to a 4x8. So on this first one here, I used 2 2x8s. On the next one, I'm going to be using a 2x8 and some 2x4s. And then on the one after that, I'm probably going to end up using a 4x6 and some 1x4s just because that's all I have. And so that is pretty much that. So I'm going to add these to the count total as well. And so that's pretty much that. And then you need 24 of these tan 1x3 tiles. And so the tan tiles and the 1x3 tan tiles and the reddish brown plates are the only pieces where the color really matters. Everything else is kind of just whatever you have on hand. Like, I got pretty much all of these 4 pieces here, these part types, from the Pick-a-Brick wall. So that was really convenient. And so at the time I got them because I thought they were interesting, but now they're actually starting to come in handy, which is really nice. And so let me build up these other 2 real quick and I'll show you guys how they look. And so to give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on how I build these, you're going to take your 2x6 plate and then place your 6 2x2 snot pieces on the bottom of that 2x6 plate like so. And then you're going to place your reddish brown plates on top. Okay, so once you have that done, you're going to create 2 of this assembly here. and then you're going to create 2 of this assembly here, and you're going to put them on all of the 4 corners here. And I did this one already as a quick example for you. And so pretty much those are going to be the legs for this garden here. And so once you've done that, you should now be able to start placing your 24 tan 1x3 tiles on each of the outwardly facing studs. And once you finish that, it should look something like this. Okay, so now all 3 of these are pretty much done. And so I think these look really, really awesome. If you guys were wondering, I very well could have placed some more of these sand green snot bricks along the edges here just to allow the 1x3 tiles to have 2 points of contact instead of 1. But the kind of irregular or not uniform spacing of them makes it look a lot more natural to me, at least. And so I don't mind these slight imperfections in height and the slight differences in the angles of them. So I think that's fine as it is. If you guys wanted to add that to yours, you definitely could. But I'm going to leave mine as it is because I think that it adds a little bit more texture, a little bit more detail, and it makes it seem a lot more realistic. So before we place these though, I want to start working on those market stalls and show you guys my ideas for those. And then we can place all of it in the farm at the same time. Okay, so these are some of the pieces that I'm going to be using for the market stalls. The design that I had been inspired by was actually this one from the Lion Knight's Castle. I think it was a really great design, but I wanted it to be a little bit different. I didn't want to just copy it. And so instead, I'm changing up the colors of it, and I'm making it 6 studs wide instead of 4. And so I think that would look a lot better. So let me start building this and kind of show you guys how I'm putting this together. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. I'm pretty much just following the instructions from the set itself. So this is a pretty straightforward thing, and I did pretty much use the instructions and as well as the back of the instructions for the part list for all of this. So that's why this is pretty easy. So I just bought all of the pieces that I didn't have, like these little bracket pieces and these antennas and the studs with the hole in them in brown. And so let me finish making this and I'll show you guys what this looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and I think this looks really good. Actually, I went ahead and added a couple of details on here, and I'm really happy with this. They didn't have these half-rounded tiles in tan in the bestseller portion of the website, so I just decided that I was going to use square tiles instead, and I think it looks all right. I would prefer if they were half-rounded tiles, but you know, what are you going to do? I would rather have it look like this than have to wait a month for the other tiles, so that's fine with me. And I could have bought the little I don't know what you call that, like the panel piece for the bottom here, but I didn't think that was really necessary just because it also wasn't a bestseller, and so I decided to not pick it up. I think it looks fine as it is. You know, it's Lego, it doesn't need to be perfect, and so I think leaving it like that is fine. And then if you place another figure behind here, the height of it also looks pretty good. I think the height in comparison to a figure with this looks better than those do, but I'm really happy with this. So let me build the second one and I'll show you guys how they look together. Okay, so both of these now are pretty much done. I did make one slight oversight, and that was forgetting to order the actual hinge pieces for this angled portion up at the front. And so I had a couple in my inventory here, but in my own personal collection, but I didn't have enough to complete the second one, which is kind of unfortunate, but you know, what are you gonna do? So I'm gonna see if I can find at least one more so I can at least put the 2x6 plate on the front, but regardless, I'm gonna place all this stuff in the farm now and see how it all looks. Okay, so I went ahead and I placed a couple of red plates down to just kind of mark where I think I want these market stalls to go. And I think next time I order pieces, I'm probably going to order enough pieces to create a third one as well. I think that would be pretty cool to have, you know, one like kind of like a corner like this, and then, you know, continue it down this way slightly. So I think I am going to leave that one open to start a third one. And then across the way here, I added in the community gardens here. Let me grab a couple figures really quick to place them around to give you guys a sense of scale for how everything looks. All right, so I placed a couple of figures around, and I did like the spacing of this at first, but now that I put a couple figures in here, it seems really cramped. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably move these over slightly so there's a little bit of extra room. And I think just even giving it one extra stud in between each of these aisles here, I think that makes it look a lot better. It makes it look a lot more spacious. And I could even go the extra mile, I guess the extra stud, and give it 2, but I don't think it really needs that much room. I mean, it would be nice, sure, but yeah, I don't know. I think, actually, now that I'm looking at it, I do think that looks better. So let me take out a couple more plates over here, and I'll show you guys how it all looks. Okay, so now the aisles are up to 6 studs wide, and I think that actually looks a lot better. If you kind of just space these figures out a little bit more, you can see how much room there actually is, which I think is good. And I also moved each of the 3 of these this way 1 stud, just to give a little bit of extra space in here, and I think that looks a lot better. So I think I'm gonna finalize the positions right there, and then I'll add in some of the tiles for the sidewalk, as well as make the surrounding areas, make it look a lot more natural instead of having these gaps that I had to remove in order to make this work. Okay, so I went ahead and I added in different types of plants into these gardens here. I think this looks pretty good. I decided to add 2 different types of designs in there. And I also added the tiles to the rest of the sidewalk here. Except for the couple of 1x6 tiles, I am unfortunately short on those. I also forgot to buy those. But for the meantime, it's just going to stay as it is, which I think doesn't even look that bad. But I did also go ahead and add in the path back here. I think that looks pretty good. And instead of just doing the same design over here, I decided to add in a couple of 2x2 plates and some 1x2 plates, just to give some figures a place to stand in this area, because I feel like that would be pretty important to help add some stories to the area instead of just having tiles like this with nothing on it. And so I think that looks pretty good. But on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do that wall, but don't worry, that will happen in an episode in the near future. So once again, thank you guys for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this area as a whole and what else you guys want me to add to this area, make sure to drop a comment down below. And once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.